Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hello, Leah. Alright, so I'm like still pretty neutral here. Image yesterday. It looks like we're just ranging. I'll mark out. It looks like we've also got like some sort of free drives here. Um, Basically indicating that price is balanced above. Can't tell if the microphone's working or not. I think it is. Right. You have a 1 hour. I'll just mark out the sell side and buy side levels just on the hourly chart quickly. Do have FOMC later as well, so going to be got to be a little bit careful here. AM session. Again, price looks neutral. Same as yesterday, really. We've just sort of ranged since. It was market open yesterday. Obviously, we got a nice long scalp here. The sell side liquidity, and then we're rejecting off the new day opening gap right here. Gap here in a candle. So upped it twice. We have a big 4 hour All right. No SMT or anything at the highs. But we do have some sort. Honestly, we could just chop today until FOMC. Out of the question, to be honest. Again, prices are all balanced above, so I don't see any reason for us to go higher. Everything's balanced, so I am bearish today. Welcome to the stream, guys in the TikTok. Have you in here? I'm just doing a little bit of pre-market markup on the charts here. Going in today, pretty bearish to be honest. Prices all balanced above. We have FOMC later, so we could range AM session, but we'll wait and see. I've got a couple of sell side levels here marked, which we could aim for. We are rejecting off this H1 FEG here. H4 is kind of irrelevant. Tapped it like 4 times. So just going down to a 5-minute here. All of this is balanced. You know, we did tap this in efficiency. We've tapped this in efficiency. We have one here that we've just tapped an M5. But to be honest, I don't really think there's anything higher for us to react off here to move higher. Excuse me, sorry. So we've got 7 minutes until the 15-minute candle closes, so we'll know if this FEG here gets closed below. If it does, I think we could probably expect a pretty fast delivery down here to the sell side, and maybe even lower down here. Or if we sort of close back in this range of this 15-minute gap, we might just consolidate, to be honest. Like I say, there's not really anything above the price. It's all balanced. But if price does decide to make a spontaneous reversal, we'll be ready. If we do get a clean setup. Afternoon, iTunes. Good to see you in there again in the YouTube chat. Yeah, so we've got 6 minutes now until market open. There's not really too much really go off. Everything above is balanced, and the only thing below is a lot of stacked liquidity. A lot of stacked lows here with very little inefficiency in between them, which could mean the price is going to run them pretty quick. Excuse me, sorry. Obviously, we have FOMC later, so price could just consolidate AM session and then give us that delivery during FOMC, which definitely wouldn't be out of the question. A pretty normal thing for price to do. So I guess what we can do here is we can see okay, so I mean a reversal to EQ here would make sense if price wanted to give it. We do have a end dog right here. This gap here. Or is this the end one? This is an end dog. 2-day opening gap here. So if price wanted to revisit it, if we do get a 5-minute IFEG closure here, we could possibly look for a lower time frame confirmation entry, maybe on the 32nd or the 1 minute, to potentially target this high, maybe these highs. But honestly, I just don't see the price doing that. Obviously, you break even, you'd have to go break even pretty quick as well, because you don't really want it to reject off of this NDOG plus EQ and essentially stop you out of the trade. It's just not very clean. I can mark out this remaining portion of the up here. Also, we have this this remaining portion. I believe the M15s are fully balanced. Yeah, there's no inefficiencies on the little one here. Quite insignificant though. Alright, so I've just gone down to the M1 here. Hello, Bobby. Welcome to the YouTube chat. Just doing some pre-market markup here on the charts. FOMC later, so kind of expecting maybe some slow price action, but we'll see. Yeah, man, feel free to stick around. We've got market open here in 2 minutes. So, I mean, we're literally just waiting here if we get anything. We got something nice and clean yesterday, so I'm not going to try and like push it and try and force a setup today. It's lower probability conditions. It always is AM session, but FOMC later on. Obviously, I was being cautious yesterday, and we got like a really clean setup, so I caught that one. So if it presents itself, we'll take it. But price is fully balanced above this high. There's not really any reason why price would want to revisit. No inefficiencies or anything that have been untapped, and even here, this is the buy side draw that I had like a week ago or so. We never actually tapped it, and then everything since has been balanced apart from this tiny little one gap. Then we have like a 3 drives here, negative highs. So it just indicates to me that we're going to take out these stack lows here. There's a lot of them with no inefficiency until like down here. Like I say, probably not today, but okay. So we've got a couple of seconds here until market open. And there's market open. Okay, so we have a 930 wick here. It's usually a pretty good short-term draw on liquidity. Don't have a problem. We'll see if we take out this sell side. $9.30 work on both sides actually. What did this 15-minute candle do? Okay, so the 15-minute did inverse. We do a 15-minute inversion here. We get a short setup, maybe a nice confirmation. Head lower here. Hello, viewers in the YouTube. That's a lot of viewers that have just joined. Wow. Welcome, welcome. We're just waiting for some sort of liquidity sweep, which we've just got here. We've just swept this low. My draw is lower. There's a lot of stacked lows on the hourly, as you can see, and there's no inefficiencies below. So I'm expecting at least some of these lows to get ran consecutively here. There's also nothing imbalanced on the high above as well. You know, there's no inefficiencies that have been untapped. Everything's balanced, so we'll just have to wait and see. Like I say, we do have FOMC here at 7:30, which is PM session in the US. So we've swept this sell side, and obviously we've swept this sell side too here. There's no inefficiencies. There's not even any on the 30-second. We couldn't even really look for a long setup here, and if we wanted to. This is too high in the range. And then obviously it conflicts because we have higher time frame imbalances here anyway that we've already rejected off. So there's a lot of stacked liquidity here. I don't really want to be looking for a long. I kind of want to just be looking for shorts. So perhaps if we come up here, sweep this high, this 930 wick, possibly actually it lines up perfectly with EQ as well. So if we sweep this 930 wick here and then we get a nice clean rejection of this unfilled portion of the M5 FEG, maybe a wick into the end dog here, we can maybe catch a short confirmation from the 15-minute IFEG. Afternoon, MCAM. It's good to see you in here again. We had 18 people join the YouTube stream at once. Like, I've never had that. Like, that many people just join. Crazy. And then they all left. I don't even know what happened. Maybe YouTube just put me on the view page for like 30 seconds or something. Not the view page, the recommended page. Hopefully. Like I say, they all left at once. Like they joined, stayed for like 10, 20 seconds, and left. I'll give you the sharp sell open. Yeah. Like I said, we had a sell side draw here, and I was already bearish. Everything's balanced above. There's no reason the price would want to head higher here. There's no inefficiencies or anything. The only buy side draw is really far away. Daily FEG that we already missed. So that's why I mentioned that we had all of these stack lows, a lot of sell stops here with very little resistance. Especially this. This is a low resistance liquidity run here. See all these stack lows with no inefficiencies. No. For retail, this is a trend line, but it's actually the low resistance stack lows with no inefficiencies. Just basically engineered liquidity sell stops that the market makers can swiftly take, which is happening right now to fill their orders. So we might get a rejection here off this low. Considering there is quite a lot of, obviously, quite a lot of stacked lows left here. But I did say I was looking for shorts. So obviously, if we valid liquidity sweep, then you can't really count out a long, especially because we have a nice 930 wick here. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really that I could even look for, to be honest with you. We did just like leave this low here, so as if we don't sweep it now, we might be leaving it for later. Five-minute 5-minute FEG here. It has already been tapped though, so already been mitigated. But since it's the only one here, I'll just mark it out. The price is rejected off it 4 times already, 3-4 times. Quite a big displacement here. Don't know if I really trust it, to be honest. I mean, it is textbook, so we did sweep liquidity and we've just tapped into this 5 minute that's been holding price ups. The risk to reward isn't great though. I'm going to leave this one. I'm not going to take it just because of the risk to reward. But this is a good setup here. If the risk to reward was better, I'd take it. Your break even would be here at this high. So wait for this candle to close and then go break even pretty much. Got to be careful as well because there is an M2 here. So you want this M2 candle here to close. Make sure you do go, if you've taken this or anyone's taken this, make sure you do go break even at this high. Right, you should be at break even now. Right here. If price wants this 930 high quick, it's going to take it. If not, you might just stall here. Break even for a tape read. I don't really. The thing is that like the reason why I've missed this trade is I don't really take anything below a 2R. It's just not typically worth it for me. Also, we just missed this low as well, so not like too good. But yeah, that would have been a break even trade anyway. Break even trade. You know, you see why I like waiting for the higher time frame closures. You know, the only reason why I said this was a good setup is because we closed below the 2 minute, so you obviously had a good break even point before we knew if we were going to reject. You know, break even was like right here, so if we were going to reject, you were going to move just up to break even anyway. But we'll see if this big displacement here holds. I do want to see this low taken, so I do really want a short down to here. You rebalanced EQ here as well. This is just too big to try and take a short from. Like if we close below it, you know, again, you got to think about the risk to reward. How perfect of a trade we had yesterday. Like, even if you just scalped it there, it's a 1 to like 0.7. That's pretty awful. Pretty awful risk to reward. Let's see if the break even would have saved us here. Hello, viewers in the YouTube. That is a lot of viewers that have joined again. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome. We're just waiting here. We had a valid setup here, but it was break even. I didn't take it because the risk reward wasn't great. Sorry, the risk reward wasn't great. You know, it was only like a 1-to-1. I don't typically take those, but it would have been break even anyway. You would have gone break even basically either at this 2-minute FVG here or this high, which is pretty much 2-minute FVG. That's what you would have done. Or we can watch this as a tape read, hypothetically, if we did take this 930 wick. These are usually a good draw. Quite slow here. To be fair, it's to be expected though. Balanced price on both sides and stuff. If we take this 930 wick, easing it, edging the 930 wick. We're rejecting off this M1. We've been filled. I don't really know why this would hold. I have an immediate rebalance here. Right here. Immediate rebalance. If this immediate rebalance holds price. Yeah, no, I agree. I really do agree. I just didn't really like the risk to reward. But no, you are right. This is a valid buy setup. It really is. It would have been a break even though, for my model. You know, we took this next intermediate high, and then obviously we tapped into the M2 and we tapped DQ. So you're definitely going to be going break even at that point. You know, especially with price being slow here pre FOMC. So. So this immediate rebalance held price up here. I don't typically trade or use immediate rebalances, but obviously when they're super obvious like this, you've got two wicks that meet perfectly here. It just means the price has failed to create a displacement in the opposite direction. Usually means the price is gonna, head up to buy side or sell side liquidity without leaving a displacement. Immediately wanted to rectify the imbalance in price before heading higher. If you can kind of get what I'm saying there. In ICT, it's called a an IRB. If I say something, by the way, that you don't really know what it means, you can always go on www.ictindex.com, and then you can type in anything on there. It's basically an AI chatbot that's been trained on ICT and all of ICT's teachings, and it will literally just spew out any information you need on any ICT concepts. Like, if you're unsure what I mean when I say like buy side liquidity or something, you can literally just type it into that, and it will just give you the rundown. Or buy side inefficiency, value gap, order block, breaker block, rejection block, immediate rebalance, a low resistance liquidity run, anything like that. You can just type into ICT index, and an AI chatbot will tell you exactly what it is. I wouldn't ask like ChatGPT or anything like that, because ChatGPT doesn't really know much. ICT is quite good, but yeah, I mean, looks like this bicep would have worked out. To be honest, I'm not like I don't really care that it hit TP because the risk ratio wasn't great. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a tape read work out. And obviously, it would have been a break even anyway, so can't even be mad about it. Even if I did take it, like, I couldn't be mad about it because it would have just stopped me a break even before going higher. Let's see if this was enough for price to come. We've got a 30-second. You have a 30-second. Get this 30-second, I'll take it. No closure there. No closure. We have just swept liquidity, and we've also tapped into this M5. And on the M15, we did tap into this little M15 as well. Yeah, I don't really like when we stall here inside of the inefficiency. Kind of puts me off the setup. Let's see if it goes invalid here. My invalidation point. Invalid sell setup. Still tape reader though, I guess. It's a shame because this is exactly what this is exactly what I was looking for. I wanted the confirmation of the 15-minute IFEG down to some more major. We can tape read this. It's it's a good setup. It's not my model. You take out the break even point, it's automatically a no trade. So it stops me from taking unnecessary losses. And it does help. It saves me more than it doesn't. So like the break even point, it saves me more than it doesn't. But yeah, the reason why this is a better trade than this is because the risk to reward ratio is much better. It's a 1-to-4. You've swept the 930 wick here. You've tapped into a M5 FEG. We have this sell side here that was just left. This would be a break-even trade, by the way. Again, it's just telling me that price is choppy and the conditions aren't great to trade in. I think what we'll do here now is we'll just wait until 10 a.m. see if price improves after 10, and yeah, pretty much. We'll just see what 10 a.m. brings to the table. See if the macro does anything good for us. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a better setup than this, just because we're already bearish. There's a lot of stack liquidity lower. We already had the M15 IFEG. I don't trade the M15, so that's why I always look for a confirmation lower. Yeah, then this would have been a break even regardless. Even if it didn't take the break even point, it wouldn't have been a break even trade. Just choppy price, to be honest. As expected, though. Yesterday was dead choppy. We caught one good trade. It looked like I picked out a needle in a haystack, honestly. So, yeah. I mean, look at this. This is the low resistance run from the yesterday that I marked out. But this is the trade. I mean, look at this price action afterwards and before. We had these relative equal highs here, and a 930 wick, and then we had a nice singular clean IFEG here on the M1 and M2, and it closed perfectly. So this was a 1 to 3R. So this was a 1 to 3R here. Right here. Wait, next week entered on 2. That was like a 1 to 2, 2.2. But yeah, it was definitely better than what we've got today. But today is definitely like expected though compared to yesterday. Didn't expect yesterday to be as bad as bad as it was, even though we had balanced price above and below. Said hi, hi, I am gum. What do you think about price action today? As we've, what do you think? You think we're a bit choppy, or you seen anything clean that you like? Like I say, this was all right. Break even trade as well as this one. This was more up my alley in terms of the clarity of the setup. But obviously, we were invalid. Then it would have been just what it is. Yeah, yeah. I don't blame you. Definitely a good shout. Definitely a good shout. I just I live stream FOMC, but I can't really. It's too close to the kids' bedtimes and stuff. I've got bad things to do in the evenings. I kind of got to miss FOMC, which is a shame because I've traded FOMC before and it's yeah I do enjoy catching the manipulation. I don't know how it's going to be in December though. That's the thing. How is FOMC going to be in December? Because obviously we know the price in December can be rough. We've seen that firsthand last week. Um, FOMC in December, I don't know. We've got 6 minutes here until 10 a.m. I think we have news. Do we have news at 10? Oh, wait, no, we had news at 8:30. Stop doing that, dude. What do you mean create account and subscribe? I'm not doing that. And get my news for free. By the way, if you ever want to check the economic calendar, and this is a website called Forex Factory. You can check all of the economic dates and stuff, news releases, if you're curious. It does definitely help to know times where a price might spike or might deliver, especially when price has been choppy beforehand. Looks like we're delivering, which is what I wanted. I said that we were bearish and I wanted to see lower price delivery. It's a shame that this was invalid, to be honest. I mean, you got two things here which prevent you from kind of entering the trade. It's invalid and it would have been a break even anyway. What can you do? That's just choppy price or slow price. It's not really that choppy. It's just it is what it is. There's always something better. There's always something cleaner. Maybe we get something else. Like maybe we come up and to be fair, I doubt it. There's everything's balanced. There's no reason why it would come up. It just seems like price is creating reasons to move in real time. Like this 930 wick, we had no other reason here. Maybe this high inside the M5 gap, but it needed another reason to come up, and that's what the 930 wick is. Trump is one reason. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is. He is. Likes to influence the markets. I bet he's got a fat wad of cash invested, like right at the low. He's like, damn, price tanked 10%. Definitely didn't know that was going to happen. They just loaded up like 4 billion. Actually, I didn't think he could do that. I think his son can though. I know his son was like into like crypto and stuff. What we got going on here? Build this inefficiency pretty much to the tick. Price is just it's just completely balanced. Like there's nothing for me to go off. The exact same scenario as yesterday. Just yesterday gave us this setup, but way cleaner. Basically, a longer market open to the 930 wick plus relative equal highs. Like he got it, but cleaning yesterday, and today wasn't as clean. And then price chopped for the rest of the session. So I've not really got high hopes, to be honest. Oh yeah, he did. He definitely did. I think he was like, I don't remember the exact figure, but I know it was like over 100 billion. So he's like, no, 100 billion. Sorry, that's absurd. 100 million, I think. He said he like walked away with something. It was in the news. I remember reading it. I remember on Twitter, everyone was saying like there was a whale that sold like 100 million worth of Bitcoin or something, and everyone was saying it was Barron. I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't put it past him to be honest. If your dad could manipulate the price of anything, though, like you'd take advantage of it. I know I would. No, I can't really blame him. Like, you can't really blame him at all, really. Hmm. Rejecting off anything. If we were rejecting off something, I'd be like, yeah, like this. Like if there was a gap here, I'd say this is a good confirmation. Sure, we had this one, but we're not rejecting off anything. Or like, I guess I could take read it. Since we are probably reacting off of EQ, the risk to reward isn't great either. And it's a 2.3 to be honest. It's just not a good setup. This is a B setup at best. It's not good at all. I'll keep it on there anyway, just for reference. We even react off EQ. No, we did, but still doesn't make it any better. I'll keep this up here for reference though. Maybe you could tighten the stop, increase the risk reward a little bit. Realistically, we're going to close above this. Close above here. There's not really a good break-even point on this either. That's why it's a bit messy. You do have an immediate rebalance though inside the IFEG, so that's promising. You'd probably want to go break-even pretty quick just because we are choppy. It's not a very good setup. It's just very In fact, it's not even mid. It's below mid. That's what this setup is. Below mid. Nothing to go off. Like, that's the only thing. Like, if we had inefficiencies, if we had a solid high or low that we'd swept, I'd say it's like, fine. I might try a like low risk, but it might work out, but it might not. So that's the thing. Like, when you see a sell like this, it's 50-50. You've got no edge. You've got no edge, so you can't. There's no point in taking a trade if there's no edge. If the odds aren't in your favor, then don't take it. As simple as that. Like right now, we wouldn't even go stop the break even. I mean, the stop is at the high, but like if we closed above, you're stressing if you're taking this. Like, oh, damn it, we're not closed above, but I've not been stopped out. So this is just choppy PA. Choppy PA. So basically 10 a.m. has done nothing. It gave us an extremely subpar setup that is not worth taking. So honestly, I think I might call it, to be honest. We had an okay setup here. The risk reward ratio wasn't great, and it would have got stopped at BE anyway. And then we had a sell setup, which is what we were actually looking for, which hasn't even hit TP yet, by the way. Just putting it out there, it's not even hit TP yet. If it was valid. But I mean, obviously, you can kind of expect price to not hit TP if the setup is subpar. Like, the quality of the setup will indicate how fast or how accurate we deliver to TP. That's the reason why I always wait for something pristine, because I don't like sitting through, chop and crap like this while I'm waiting for it to hit TP. There's just no point. So I'll just wait for something super clean. But yeah, obviously this was invalid. This short setup here. If it was valid, it would have been okay. We probably would have already delivered to TP. But it is what it is. Can't be mad. We took our trade yesterday and made out with some money. So I'm not going to sit here and try and force something or subject my eyes to torture for much longer. Hopefully tomorrow is better. Potentially FOMC, maybe some overnight volatility will give us a little bit of range that we can use maybe some PD arrays, some higher time frame inefficiencies or something to gauge where price wants to go. Because at the minute we're in the middle of no man's land. I've got no idea. Like my draw was lower, just because we have so many stacked lows. But it is what it is. I've got nothing here. When your bias is already neutral, you kind of got to already be careful. So, yeah, I'm gonna end it anyway. Appreciate you tuning in, iTunes and MCAM. Do appreciate you checking in every day. And yeah, thanks for joining the TikTok too. My TikTok was not eligible to be pushed because it contains unoriginal content. What do you mean, unoriginal content? The bloody live stream of my chart. Right, okay. I don't really know what that means, but I'll figure out. All right, well, thank you anyway, and yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow.